Welcome back to The Explainer. So if you've been looking for a highly actionable, standalone protocol for rapid digestive relief, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today we're looking at a very specific, highly targeted intervention designed to essentially hit the reset button on your digestive system. We're talking about the bone broth fast. Now, this isn't about some complex, lifelong dietary shift, right? This is about an acute, powerful tool you can literally use right now to find immediate relief and start mending from the inside out. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the bone broth fast itself, its 2 massive gut benefits, the exact healing broth recipe, a completely tasteless collagen alternative, and then we'll wrap up with an important medical disclaimer.
Section 1. The bone broth fast. The intervention.
So, I really want to anchor you on this number, 48 to 72. When we're talking about this specific fast, we mean taking a complete break from solid foods for 48 to 72 hours. So that's 2 to 3 full days. And during this window, you are substituting your regular meals with deeply nourishing bone broth. Now, I know it sounds like a big commitment, and hey, it is. But the reason for this very specific time frame is rooted in giving your body exactly what it needs to shift gears entirely, moving away from digesting and getting straight to healing.
And this brilliantly illustrates what the source material claims. A 48 to 72-hour bone broth fast is, quote, quite possibly the fastest way to feel better. Look, while long-term diets packed with healthy fats and clean proteins are obviously fantastic at slowly healing the gut over time, they just don't compare to this fast when it comes to sheer speed of relief. It's a rapid response tool, plain and simple.
All right, Section 2. 2 massive gut benefits. The science.
So why exactly does it work so fast? Well, benefit number 1 is all about giving your body a total break. The source actually uses this perfect metaphor. Think of this fast as a spa weekend for your digestive system. By pausing solid foods, you're giving your whole digestive tract a much-needed rest. But even more importantly, if you're dealing with a leaky gut, this fast immediately stops large, undigested food particles from sneaking their way through your compromised gut wall and dumping right into your bloodstream. When you just halt that traffic entirely, your internal inflammation can finally start to cool down, and your hyperactive immune system gets a totally crucial chance to just regroup and relax. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is benefit number 2, which is the actual repair process. See, while the fasting part gives your gut a break, the broth itself actively heals you. Bone broth delivers this massive serving of collagen, which is a protein rich in 3 highly specific amino acids. We're talking glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. Your GI tract literally feeds on these amino acids. They're the exact biological building blocks your body naturally uses to mend the damaged cells lining your gut wall. So you aren't just resting the gut here. You're actively spackling the microscopic holes in the wall with the absolute perfect cellular material.
Moving right along, Section 3, the healing broth recipe, the execution.
Okay, so now that we understand the science of exactly why this works, let's pivot to the highly actionable part of our explainer. We're going to look at exactly how to execute this intervention right in your own kitchen. Honestly, preparing this healing broth is a surprisingly simple, totally accessible process. You absolutely don't need a culinary degree for this, just a big pot and a little bit of patience. So let's take a look at the essential ingredients you're going to need to gather up.
Here is your shopping list. First, you'll need about 2 pounds of grass-fed beef bones, and it's highly recommended to get bones that include some nice marrow, maybe some fat, or a little meat attached, because this brings out the absolute most nutrients and flavor. Next up, 2 carrots, 1 celery stalk, and 1 cup of leek leaves, but definitely note here you want the green parts only. Okay? You'll also need 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, which is actually crucial for helping extract those good minerals from the bones. And finally, just add a good pinch of salt, pepper, and really any compliant herbs you enjoy.
Once you've got your ingredients, the execution is incredibly straightforward. First, you're going to brown the beef bones and meat in a big pot just to build up that flavor. Second, add in your rinsed vegetables. Third, toss in your salt, pepper, and cover the whole shebang with water, making sure to add that apple cider vinegar we talked about. Fourth, and honestly, this is where the magic happens. Bring it all to a boil, then just turn the heat down to low and let it simmer for 10 to 12 hours. Now, I know 12 hours sounds a little intimidating, but it's almost entirely hands-off time. It's the perfect excuse to catch up on a good book or even just get a full night's sleep while the stove literally does all the hard work. Fifth, once it's done, strain out the broth and discard the solids. And step 6, the actual execution. If you're fasting, simply consume a nice warm cup of this healing broth every couple of hours.
Section 4, the tasteless collagen alternative for the broth averse.
But hey, what if you absolutely despise the taste of beef broth? Or, simmering a pot for 12 hours just isn't in your crazy schedule? Don't worry, there's a totally valid backup plan. The real secret ingredient that makes bone broth so incredibly healing is the collagen. So, if you're broth averse, you can get those exact same amino acid benefits by using an unflavored collagen supplement, specifically hydrolyzed collagen powder, which is widely known as collagen peptides. The key here is to just look for a highly absorbable, high-quality grass-fed collagen. And because it's completely tasteless and dissolves so easily, you can just mix it into water or really any compliant beverage, ensuring your gut still gets that glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline it needs to rebuild, all without any of the culinary fuss.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Section 5. Important medical disclaimer. Please read. As the source document wonderfully puts it, let's not play Dr. House in real life. I want to clarify very emphatically that this explainer is strictly educational content. It's derived entirely from the free guide How to Heal Leaky Gut, authored by Richard, the founder of Essential Stacks. The information we've covered today is purely for informational purposes and is absolutely not considered medical advice. You should always see a physician before making any medical or major lifestyle changes, especially one involving a multi-day fast. So, with that necessary framework in place, we come back to the core concept of today's deep dive. We've seen exactly how stopping solid foods halts the influx of irritants. We've seen how a simple 12-hour simmered broth or even just a scoop of tasteless collagen peptides can flood your system with the exact biological tools it needs to repair its own walls. So, looking at the science and, honestly, the incredible simplicity of the execution, are you ready to give your gut a spa weekend?